Poetry of the Path. Legend of Apolo Anton Ohno. The path looks perfect, an oval etched in ice, measured, marked, machine-cut precise. Symmetry so clean you could mistake it for certainty, a frozen mirror reflecting destiny. But perfection's a promise the world never keeps, because once the gun fires, order fractures into elbows and instincts, and the map melts beneath your feet. Each lap is a lever between physics and faith. How much can you lean without breaking? Will gravity grant such risk-taking? The shortest path is never straight. It's a dance between trust and torque, between the lane you planned and the one life opens at the fork. 1. The lane. Before the roar, there's routine. The hum of a Zamboni smoothing chaos into calm. The cold bite of morning air. The discipline that makes freedom fair. Apollo trained until movement became memory, a reverie where ice no longer pushed back but became complementary. He could see the race in slow motion, each turn, each blade, each pulse of potential energy, uncoiling into speed, a steadfast trajectory. The lane is law. It rewards repetition and punishes hesitation. It is geometry married to grit, where muscle becomes almighty and the circumference of breath is all you can see. But mastery has a hidden clause. The moment you think you've solved it, the ice withdraws its applause. 2. The pack. Now the race begins. 5 men, 1 goal, and not enough room for all of them to reach it. Blades overlap like intentions. One wrong angle and someone's dream gets sliced apart. Speed skating is chaos, disguised as choreography, a symphony of near misses measured in milliseconds. The margin between glory and grief, truth and belief is the thickness of a spandex speed suit. And yet, in the noise there's music. In the jostle there's judgment. In every shove and shoulder, a lesson. That control is an illusion, and yet equanimity can be found in proximity to others. Mid-fall, mid-fight, mid-spotlight. The pack is life. Fast, crowded, unpredictable. You don't choose the chaos, but you learn to carve through it. 3. The pivot. Here comes the curve, the signature move, the inside pass that defies nerve, that makes the crowd gasp before they understand it. He pivots, not away from fear, but into it, blade biting deeper, acceleration packed like origami inside a single stride. That's what separates a racer from a reactor. One waits for space, the other creates it. The pivot is pure instinct, refined by 1,000 failures, the art of changing lanes without losing momentum, the courage to trust that friction is what fuels the turn. But the hardest pivot came after the final race, when the medals were boxed, the lights cut out, and all he heard was silence from shout. He stood there, no finish line, no stopwatch, just a question haunting his time. Who am I without the ice? He called it the hard pivot, a shift of identity sharper than any corner he's ever taken. From athlete to author, from chasing speed to learning stillness. He learned that you can't skate your whole life in circles and call it progress. Eventually, you must change direction, not because you've lost the way, but because the way has changed you. 4. the path beyond the podium. The podium rusts, but purpose doesn't. Apollo found that metals melt, but meaning crystallizes in gratitude, in giving, in grit. He learned the difference between applause and alignment, between being driven and being drawn, between chasing perfection and embracing progress. He stopped asking how fast he could move and started asking how far he could grow, because life is less about racing laps and more about tracing lessons. The ice was never the destination. It was the reflection, a frozen record of every pivot he ever made. So here's what I've learned from the man whose strongest muscle was his mind. The path will guide you. The pivot will define you. There are lanes meant for discipline and corners meant for faith. When life crowds your lane, cut inside. When the ice beneath you starts to crack, let it. That's where light shines through, in the split second between what you planned and what you choose. Because sometimes the path is clear, and other times you stumble in darkness and fear. The point is that you're made to sharpen your blade and hold all of life dear.